Welcome into another American River College athletics broadcast brought to you by Stones Radio Networks. Today we have the ARC men's baseball team taking on Lassen. And now with the play-by-play, I give you Mark the Phantom Lowe.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Beaver Field on the campus of American River College in lovely Sacramento, California. Mark the Phantom Lowe here with Stones McCoy, the Stones Radio Network, bringing you American River College athletics on YouTube. We are giving you a baseball today. It's American River College against Lassen College. The Cougars against the Beavers. The Cougars from Lassen are 2-2 on the season. They'll be playing then mathematically game number 5. The Beavers looking for their first win of the season. They are 0-6. They will send Daniel Valens out to the mound for his first appearance of the season, the 6'1" freshman. The right-hander will take the mound for the Beavers, and he'll face a lineup for Lassen that includes Matt Schur, the center fielder. He'll bat leadoff, then Jack Ingram, the shortstop, batting second. Kyle Miklas is the catcher. He hits third. Cleanup man is Caden Cripps, batting fourth and playing third base. Caden Stutzman is the left fielder, batting fifth. Nathan Rowley is in right field. He'll hit sixth. Hitting seventh, the first baseman is Curtis Lindsay. Dak Sayer is the designated hitter, batting eighth. The number 9 hitter, Juan Perez, the second baseman. Danny May, the pitcher for the Lassen College Cougars. And it will be Schur, Ingram, and Miklas against Daniel Valens, who is on the roster on the website, not on the roster in the game program, which I thought was a good bit of gamesmanship by Coach Jay. He just puts a guy out there that he doesn't put in the program, so I'm sure all the Cougar fans are checking out their programs and going, who's this guy? And it's just part of what you do. It's part of the mind games. That's part of community college baseball. And Valens is getting ready to go. His warm-up pitches to the catcher, Aiden Imperial, behind the plate for the Beavers today. Beavers coming off a game against Shasta that they lost just 6-4 the other day. They are playing this game here, and then they're going to go play Hartnell in a couple of games. Hartnell College, that's on the 10th and the 11th. And then they are up in Orville to take on Butte on the 16th. That's next Thursday. Then next Friday, they're back home here to take on Butte against American River College, and we'll have that game for you here on American River College Athletics YouTube, and then they're back to Butte the next day to conclude that 3-game series. So a busy week ahead for the Beavers, but they started off looking for their first win against the Lassen College Cougars, and Matt Schur is the first hitter for the Cougars. Matt, the center fielder today, he's out of Gulf Island Secondary School in British Columbia. Just checking the Lassen roster in the program, they are represented by half of the western United States, some of the southern United States, and some countries I haven't even heard of yet. First pitch to Schur is inside for a ball. 1-0. Matt is 4 for 19 on the season. That's a 2.11 average and 3 runs batted in for Matt Schur. From the stretch, Valens delivers the next pitch. That is just a little bit low, 2-0. Coach Jay, talking to my broadcast partner, Mr. Stones McCoy, before the game, says Daniel Valens is getting a look today. May only be an inning or two just to get him a chance out there to throw the ball. His next pitch just misses outside, 3-0. A couple of close ones there on the second and third pitches for Valens, but he is behind 3-0 to the first hitter, Matt Schur. 3-0 pitches inside, and he walked him on 4 straight. Schur goes down to first base. In the games that we've done, the 3 games that we've done, the 3 home games on the season, the base on balls has been a problem for the Beavers pitchers, as everybody's working to get themselves into condition for the season. And early on, it can be a little tough finding the plate. Number 2, that's Jack Ingram, the shortstop. He is at .357, 5 for 14 on the year. Coming in at third is Packard. There goes the runner. The pitch is down low. The throw to second base is to nobody. Blackwell covers, and just in time because no one was covering second base on the steal, and Schur is in at second base. Defensively, it's Marcus Pabada in left, Dominic Ott in center, Jonas Diaz is over in right, Anthony Packard at third, Darren Eels, the shortstop, Julian Blackwell, who just saved that from going out into center field. He's at second base, Willie Tatum over at first. Aiden Imperial, who threw the ball right on the base. Unfortunately, there was nobody there. He is behind the plate, and, of course, Danny Valens on the mound. Joseph Bunton, I think he might have hit him. Oh, it hit the bat, and it went down to third base. Packard picks it up and throws it to first. That was so odd. His back turned to the pitcher. The ball hit the bat evidently, came out like between his legs like a nutmeg in soccer. Picked up by Packard. He throws it to first. It's a sacrifice bunt for Ingram. Going to third is Schur. 1 out. And here's Kyle Miklas, the catcher. So I thought it hit him, then I thought it hit the bat, and then it did hit the bat, and it was in fair territory. And give Anthony Packard a little credit for figuring everything out and going ahead and throw him out. Here's Miklas. He hits a high fly ball that's in very deep right center field. Ott is going back, then he stops and has it. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Kyle Miklas, and Lassen scores first. They lead this 1-0. First RBI of the season for Kyle Miklas. And with 2 outs, that will bring up the cleanup man, Caden Cripps, the third baseman. So that is the first run bat in for Miklas, and he really took that ball and hit it well. Shows bunt, pulls it back, it's inside for a ball. Hit it well into right center field. 390 out there to straightaway center, 370 in the gaps, 340 down the lines here at Beaver Field, a spacious park. That's a breaking ball, and it's outside, so it's 2-0. So a walk, a stolen base, a sacrifice, and a sacrifice fly, and the Cougars work it small ball style, and they lead this 1-0. Denny Valenz on the mound for the Beavers. That one's right down the middle for a call strike. Might be the first call strike he's got of the inning. And it's 2-1 on Caden Cripps. 2 for 9 on the season, puts him squarely at 222. Next pitch, that one's hit sharply into the hole, into left field for a base hit. So Cripps with his third hit of the season, first hit for the Cougars, and that'll bring up Caden Stutzman, the left fielder. Caden, 154, 2 runs batted in on the season. He's out of Twin Falls, Idaho, a sophomore. He's out in left field today for the Cougars. He's got a runner down at first base and 2 outs, top of the first, just getting started here from Beaver Field. Coming at you on American River College Athletics YouTube or Stones Radio Network's YouTube. That one's right down the middle for a strike. 0-1. Stutzman keeps it going. Nathan Rowley is on deck. Leading at first base is Cripps. That one is a slider outside, and it looks like Valenz has a little bit of a kick with his leg on his stretch that would allow a runner to get a little bit extra off first base. Kind of a little hitch with his left leg. Let's see. Right there. It just brings it back. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Kind of just kicks the left leg back a little bit. Kind of a timing thing, but if you're on base, it might be the time you want to take off. Not telling Lassen what to do, obviously. I don't want them to pick up on that. Look out, 1-2 pitch, and I think it hit him behind him. It was a breaking ball, and it started out behind him and stayed behind him and got enough of him, so he is down to first base, hit by the pitch. Second free pass of the inning for the Cougars, and that'll bring up Nathan Rowley. Nathan's 4 for 11 on the season, has 3 runs batted in. Out of Mountain Crest, Utah. I love these sounds. I love these places. Joe's bunts it down the third baseline. Packard comes in, scoops it up, throws to first base a little bit high, and the runner is safe at first base. It's an infield single for Rowley. A fine play by Packard, but he couldn't get him at first base. Willie Tatum have to come off the base in order to handle the throw, and Rowley's in there safely. That loads the bases. And here's Curtis Lindsey. Curtis 1 for 8 on the season, but that one was a home run, and he has 6 runs batted in somehow, which seems a little bit odd, so he must have a lot of sacrifice flies, but I don't know. Figure it out. That's a slider. It's in there for a strike. Nice-looking pitch by Danny Valenz, and it's 0-1 to Curtis Lindsey. The first baseman for the Cougars. Curtis is out of Legacy, Nevada, a freshman. He's up here with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the top of the first. Valenz from the stretch checks the runner at third. Another breaking ball swung on and missed. Nicely put in there by Valenz. 0-2. So Lindsey so far has not been able to catch up to the slow stuff from Danny Valenz, making his Beaver debut. Dak Sayer, the designated hitter, is on deck. But right now it's all about Curtis Lindsey. It's hit sharply to third, but Packard's going to have it. He'll go over and step on third for the fourth. So 1 run on 3 hits and 3 left. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Cougars 1, the Beavers coming to bat.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it and they can see it.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Bottom of the first, Beavers coming to bat. Cougars put one on the board in the top of the inning. Danny May, the right-hander, the sophomore out of Eagle, Idaho, is on the mound for Lassen. He is 1-0. This will be his third appearance. He's thrown 5 2/3 innings. His ERA is just 1.59. So Danny May, we'll call him the ace of the Cougar staff, is up here against the Beavers. And the Beavers will run up a starting lineup, but looks something like this. Dominic Ott, the center fielder, leads us off. Then Julian Blackwell, the second baseman, batting second. Hitting third, Jonas Diaz, the right fielder. In the fourth spot, the cleanup spot, is the designated hitter, Jake Morrell. Hitting fifth, the catcher, Aiden Imperial. Willie Tatum, the first baseman, bats sixth. Darren Eels, the shortstop, hits seventh. Anthony Packard, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And batting ninth, Marcus Babada, the left fielder. Dominic Ott, 208 on the season, 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Right-hander against right-hander, May from the stretch. His fastball is on the outside corner, call strike, to the surprise of many of the Beavers staff up here. Oh and 1. 5 of 24 for Dominic. That one is a fastball. That's on the inside corner, so hit both corners in the 2 pitches. 0 and 2 on Dominic Ott. He's followed by Blackwell and Diaz here in the top of the first, or bottom of the first. Dominic with a home run. He also has a double amongst his 5 hits. 4 runs batted in. 0-2 pitch coming from Danny May. That's hit sharply, but right at second base, scooping it and scuffing on it. The second baseman throws it to first, gets him by a step. That's Juan Perez. And Perez just kind of surrounded that ground ball and kind of stamped it out and then picked it up and threw and got Dominic Ott by about a step at first base. So Ott is retired 4-3. Brings up Julian Blackwell. Perez at second. Curtis Lindsey is over at first base. Jack Ingram, the shortstop, and Caden Cripps is at third for the Cougars. Behind the plate, Kyle Miklas. Left fielder is Caden Stutzman. Center fielder Matt Shuren. Nathan Rowley is in right. Danny May on the mound, facing Julian Blackwell. That's a little blooper off the pitcher's glove. Blackwell didn't run. Now he's going to run. Picked up by May. Throws to first, and he didn't get him, I don't think. And Blackwell is safe. I think Julian thought he had lined out to the pitcher, so he was just standing there, and it went off the glove as a slow liner, if you can be called a liner at all. And it went off the glove of Danny May, and it's an infield single for Julian Blackwell. Here's Jonas Diaz. 1 for 14 on the season so far for Jonas. Batting in the number 3 spot, the right fielder. May looks over at first base and goes over there, even though Blackwell was not off very far. To look Jonas Diaz up. He is not on the, I think he's out of Folsom. Not on my roster here. But I've seen him play. I know he's on the team, so don't worry about that. That one is outside. Nice block by the catcher. Picks it up, throws it down to second. Blackwell going down there, barely gets in underneath the tag. A nice play by the catcher, Kyle Miklas, to come up with that ball in the dirt. Threw it down to second, a little bit high, so Blackwell advances on the wild pitch. Good base running by Julian, and he's in scoring position for Jonas Diaz. Got a 1 and no strike count on the right-hand hitting right fielder. And that's a check swing by Diaz and fouled back to the screen. So 1 and 1 strike. One and one on Jonas. Blackwell leading out at second. Here's the pitch. Diaz takes high, the fastball. 2-1. Waiting on deck, Jake Morrell, the designated hitter. Blackwell leading at second base, the pitch. That's hit out to right field, but foul. Out into the trees out there in the picturesque area to the right of the field. It'll be 2 and 2 strikes now on Diaz. Checking at second. Perez shadowing the runner at second, trying to keep him close, and Mays coming to the plate. Diaz takes inside, and I think it hit him in the back, so he'll go down to first base. So a hit batter by Diaz. Just at the same time, I discovered that my program has American River College's roster, I believe, from last season, which is why number 30, Jake Morrell, is listed as Christoph Swanson. So there you go. It's Jake Morrell out of Whitney High. We'll just do this out of memory then. And it's first and second with just 1 out. Jake hitting at .250 with 2 runs batted in. The big left-hander waits for the pitch from Danny May. That one is a fastball and misses the outside corner, 1-0. The Cougars have earned the admiration of my partner, Stones McCoy, because they have basically the Giants uniforms, and he can't help it. Even if they're the opposition, if they're wearing Giants colors, he's for them. Well, he does not for them. I won't go that far. 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the screen, 1-1, and Jake had one he thought he should have driven there. I can't. It's almost a Pavlovian thing for Stones. If he sees the orange and black, and he sees a baseball bat, he sees a glove somewhere, he knows it's Giants time, and he just gets eager. And then he tries to go back and re-enroll in college and get eligibility, but that's another story. 1-1 coming up to Morrell. Shortstop dancing around. He swings and fouls off an off-speed pitch back to the screen. It's 1-2. Aiden Imperial, the catcher, to follow for the Beavers. Pitchers and catchers reporting in 10 days, I'm informed. And he would like to report with him, actually. But he is neither pitcher nor catcher, unfortunately. 1-2 to Jake Morrell. Ingram dancing behind the run. He pops that one up. Is that going to get out of play? I think so. Watch out over there, guys. Hey, on top of us. Oh, boy. I think you would have caught that one, Stones. I do think you would have got that one. That was not a very particularly difficult pop fly. If it was a little bit higher, I would have worried about you. At your age, you don't really want to stare up at the sky for a long time. Believe me, I know. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blackwell at second. They're going to throw back to second Ingram. And Ingram does a thing where he catches it and pretends he missed it and looked out to center field. It's like he's a magician. It's like Now You See Me 3. David Blaine at shortstop. Actually, he was very slick about it. I have to give him a lot of credit. He's dancing back there again. Blackwell comes back. Here's the pitch. Morrell check swing. I think he went. And they're going to throw down to second base on the double steal, and they've got the runner trapped off. He's going to try to stay alive. They throw it home. It's a high throw, sliding in head first. Blackwell scores. So it didn't start out good for the Beavers, but it ended up really good as Jonas Diaz got back to first base in time. The second baseman Perez threw it to the plate a little bit too high, and Blackwell comes in, and he steals home for the first run of the game for the Beavers. Morrell is out on strikes for the second out. Jonas Diaz very adventuresome, but stays at first base. So he's over there with 2 outs now. We've got a 1-1 count, or a 1-1 score, and here's Aiden Imperial, the catcher, hitting at 200 on the season. That's a little blooper out into right field. It's going to be down in front of the right fielder and picked up and gunned into second base by Nathan Rowley, but he could not get it. It's a single for Aiden Imperial. Second hit of the inning for the Beavers. Moving over to second base is Diaz, and here's Willie Tatum. Willie at 111, 1 for 9 on the season. Make that 2 for 18, so multiple of 1 for 9. Willie, 6'3" sophomore out of Grant High. His first pitch is inside, the fastball from May, 1-0. So a ground out by Ott, then an infield single by Blackwell. Diaz was hit by a pitch. Morrell struck out, but in the ensuing confusion, Blackwell stole home, and a single to right by Imperial, and here's Willie Tatum. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Good cut by Willie. Couldn't get that one, and it's a 1-1 count on Tatum with Darren Eels, the shortstop, to follow. Lassen 2-2 on the season. AR is 0-6. May staring a long time at Diaz at second. Now he comes to the plate. Tatum with a little looper over shortstop into left field for a base hit. Here comes Diaz rounding third. The throw's going to come in. It's going to be offline. It's an RBI single for Willie Tatum, and the Beavers have grabbed a 2-1 lead. Tatum didn't hit it real hard, but hit hard enough to get it over the shortstop Ingram's head. And Diaz came all the way around to score, and the Beavers' third hit of the inning. And they've taken a guy with an ERA of 1.59 and scored 2 here in this first inning, and here's Darren Eels. Darren 3 for 21 on the season, a 143 average. Has a couple of runs scored, and he's up here with 2 runners on and 2 outs. He takes high, the fastball, 1-0. Anthony Packard to follow. So Imperial singles to right, and then Tatum singles to left. And the Beavers have grabbed 2, and they have the 2-1 lead. 1-0 pitch coming from May. Imperial leads at second base, Tatum at first. That's lined right into center field for a base hit. Here comes runner around third. The throw's going to be cut off. It's an RBI single as Imperial comes across the plate. It's another RBI single, this time by Darren Eels, and the Beavers lead this one 3-1. And that one was smoked right back up the middle. Matt Schur picked it up in center field, but his throw, he wasn't going to have a chance at the runner at home. Tried to throw it behind Willie Tatum at second, but Willie got back in, and here's Anthony Packard. 176 for Anthony, the third baseman out of Colfax. Right-hand hitter against the right-hander Danny May. That ball's on the outside corner for a strike, and you know that Lassen's going to go in the dugout and go, if we would just handled that rundown play, that double steal a little bit better, we'd have put this inning down a long time ago. But I give the Beavers a lot of credit because they've come in and hit 3 straight hits after that play happened. 0-1 coming up to Packard. That's inside with a fastball. A little smoke on that one. 1-1 to Anthony. Number 9 hitter is Marcus Babada. He is on deck. As I look at, he's number 35. I look at my last year. Oh, that's Michael Grabaya over there. But it's not. I remember Michael Grijalva. I couldn't say it last year either. Throw back to second base to try to get Tatum, but Willie is back in. Michael Grijalva, the sophomore out of Ponderosa High. But it's Anthony Packard. Open stance from the right side against Donnie May. Perez bluffing in behind the runner at second. The pitch high for a fastball with 2-1 now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cougars came up with 1 in the top of the first. Beavers came back. Now they've got 3 on the board on a steal of home and a couple of RBI singles. 2-1 pitch from Danny May. Packard takes that one right down the middle. Call strike 2. I knew it was right down the middle because nobody groaned up in the press box. And I've got enough of the AR red shirts, etc., and staff that if it's not a good call, I'm going to hear about it. And I will translate that onto you, the listener, of course. 2-2 coming up to Packard. That's down low, ball 3. So 3-2, which means Tatum will be going, as will Darren Eels. So if Anthony can come through with another base hit, that should score a run quite easily. Tatum trying to get off. Juan Perez trying to keep him a little bit close, but he's got to get back to his position. No, he's going to fake to the plate. I tell you, they had Darren Eels over at first base, but Curtis Lindsey was playing behind him, so he couldn't get in for the throw because as soon as May turned to second, Darren started to take off. Realized his mistake and made the U-turn and got back. Here we go, 3-2. That's chopped back off the pitcher's glove, and the second baseman can't get it. That's into center field for a base hit. Tatum's going to score another RBI single for the Beavers, and they lead it 4-1. That is called clutch hitting for the Beavers. Tatum scores. Eels, thanks to the 3-2 pitch, got all the way over to third. That one was a hard shot off the pitcher's glove. Juan Perez made a great effort to try to knock it down, could not do so. And the Beavers scored their fourth run, and here is Marcus Babada. Number 9 hitter, Babada, 167 on the season, has a run batted in. Marcus 3 for 18. Like we said, does have an RBI. There's a throw to first base, getting back easily is Packard. Willie Tatum, was his second RBI of the season. Pitch to Babada. Marcus takes down low for a ball, 1-0. Time on the field as they are taking time so I can look up some stats. That's Anthony Packard's third run batted in. So Anthony, that single drives in his third run of the season. 1-0 to Babada as we're ready to go again. Marcus fouls it off to our left. He had a pretty good hack at that one. Dominic Ott, 10th man in the inning, is on deck. Would be the 10th man in the inning if he can get up to the plate. As the Beavers have batted around here in the first, with Babada being the 9-hitter. Packard is short lead at first. The pitch, that one looked good. It is a little bit too low, though. 2 balls and 1 strike. Beavers off to a very good start trying to get that first win of the season. Giving up the run in the top of the first, but coming through with a bunch of clutch hits and scoring 4 on 5 hits here in the first. Babada swings and hits it out to the right of shortstop. That's Ingram's going to go to second for the force. That's a nice play by the Cougars, but not before. AR scores 4 runs on 5 hits. They leave 2 at the end of 1. It's the Beavers 4 and the Cougars 1.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it and they can see it.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the second from Beaver Field. Beavers lead this one 4-1. Tyler Moore is the new pitcher, relieving Danny Valens, who was Coach Jay told us was going to just go an inning or so. He went that inning, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, and now Tyler Moore, who is 0-2 on the season, making his 3rd appearance. 5 in the 3rd inning so far for Tyler Moore. So he will face 8-9-1. That Dax Sayer, Juan Perez, and Matt Schur for the Lassen College Cougars. So Dax Sayer leads it off. Dax Sayer is 7 for 12 on the season with 4 runs batted in. So he has been a very big bright spot. The freshman out of Minico, Idaho, right-handed hitter, DHing today, listed as an outfielder. Moore's first pitch is sliced into right field. Coming in is Diaz, reaches up and makes the catch for the out. So Sayer quickly retired on a fly ball that he hit pretty well to right field, but Diaz all over it. And here's Juan Perez. Juan is 1 for 9 on the season, the second baseman, out of Waller, Texas, a sophomore. He steps up here, batting 9th, wearing 9, with Matt Schur to follow. And Tyler Moore, the new pitcher, shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a call strike. So it's 0-1 on Juan Perez. Moore, the 3rd pitcher in the game, and the 3rd one to work from the stretch at all times. Here's the 0-1. That is down low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball again, just a little bit inside. 2-1 on Juan Perez. 1 out here, top of the second. Beavers 4, Cougars 1. That's a fastball just a little bit high. 3-1. Again, not missing by much, but it's 3 balls and 1 strike on the second baseman. Matt Schur to follow, the top of the order. Fastball on the inside corner, call strike 2. Perez thought he had himself a free pass. Now he'll have to get back into that right-handed batter's box. This is ball 4. So Perez is at first base. 3rd free pass, 2nd walk, and the 1-hit batter for the Beaver pitchers today. And here is Matt Schur, who walked and scored in the 1st inning. Matt at 4 for 19 on the season, 2.11 average, 3 runs batted in. From British Columbia. Throw over to first base and back in is Juan Perez. Aiden Imperial behind the plate for the Beavers today. Willie Tatum at first. Julian Blackwell at 2nd. Darren Eels at short. And Anthony Packard over at 3rd. Marcus Babada in left. Dominic Ott in center. Jonas Diaz out in right. Comes to the plate, shows a bunt, but it's outside. And Imperial's going to throw behind the runner at first base. And it was a little bit offline, or else they might have had a chance at him. But Perez is back in. Pretty much straight out stance, not open or closed for Matt Schur. Now he opens it up a little bit. Packard in at 3rd. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball in there for a strike. A slider by Tyler Moore. Nice looking pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Leading at first, Perez, and he has a good lead. Here's the pitch. It is just a little bit low again, 2-1. We'll be taking a break from ARC stuff. We don't have any home games again until a week from today when we have a very busy day on the YouTube. Here's the 2-1. That's a breaking ball hit foul down the 3rd baseline. Perez going on the pitch. Next Thursday, there's a doubleheader for finally getting to do some softball. A 12 and 2 o'clock doubleheader. We will be video only at 12, and then we'll have the whole production at 2. And then later on, we're going to swing on back and do the final home game for the ARC men's and women's basketball team when they take on San Joaquin Delta College at 5:30 and 7:30. There goes the runner. Pitch is inside. The throw to second is getting away into center field. and picked up by Dominic Ott. Again, it didn't look like the Eels and Blackwell really knew who was covering second base as Perez got the stolen base, and I think that the fans were a little bit concerned, and that pitch looked really good. And it was called ball 3, so full count for Matt Schur. So real busy next Thursday. He got him at third base. What a play by Aiden Imperial to cut down Perez trying to go to third. Big break for the Beavers as Schur got the base on ball, so he's over at first base. Would have been first and second even if he didn't go. The ball got away from Imperial, but just a little behind him. Aiden picked it up and threw it right down to Anthony Packer. Will be thinking about going as Ingram comes up to the plate, the shortstop. That's hit sharply down the third base line into left field for a base hit. Coming around second is Schur. Picked up out there by Babad. He'll come to third. Sliding in is Schur. He is safe and throw over to second base, and Ingram is in there with the double. So a line drive down the line for Ingram. He's at second. Now Schur over at third, and that throw out over at third base by Imperial now looms even larger as Miklas comes to the plate. Miklas, remember, last time hit a really good shot into right center field that was knocked down a little bit by the wind, by the breeze, but he got himself a sacrifice fly. And a real good swing for a guy who came in at 0.67. So he's up here now with the runners at second and third. And 2 outs. First pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Miklas with just 1 hit before today. That hit was a double. He has walked 6 times, but he hit the ball well back in the first inning. And here's Tyler Moore's 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Imperial. 2-0. So Tyler Moore came on. First pitch, he got Dak Sayer to fly to right. Then walked Perez. Perez stole second, was thrown out at third as Schur walked. And then a double by Ingram down the line. Puts runners at second and third. That's it high up in the air to left field. Barbada has a beat on it, though, as it tails away a little bit, and Marcus reaches up and makes the catch. So Tyler Moore gets out of trouble. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left at the end of an inning and a half. The Beavers lead this one 4-1.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the second inning, California. Mark the Phantom Low behind the mic, behind the pictures, behind the control tower, Mr. Stones McCoy, as Danny May gets done with his warm-up tosses. It's down to second from Kyle Miklas, and we'll go with the top of the order for the Beavers, Dominic Ott, then Julian Blackwell, and Jonas Diaz, as ARC sent 9 batters to the plate in that first inning, put up 5 hits and 4 runs. Here is Ott. Breaking ball's hit high in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Stutzman. Still going back, has a beat on it, reaches up and makes the catch about 10 feet in front of the warning track out there. So Dominic hit it well, but not well enough. He is the first out of the inning. And Julian Blackwell comes to the plate. Julian, his first time up, hit a soft liner off the glove of Danny May. Thought he was going to be retired. And then when he saw the ball trickle out into the infield, he took off and beat it out. The infield single and later scored. First pitch is just a little bit outside. 1-0 on Blackwell. 5 hits in 19 trips to the plate for Julian Blackwell. He takes that one down low for a ball. Julian with 3 runs batted in on the season. Scored 2, and now make that 3 after the first inning here today. Swing and a miss, inside fastball, 2-1. Out of Antelope Valley, Julian Blackwell, the sophomore. Playing at second base today, played second and third in the games that we've seen so far here at Beaver Field. He chops that one foul over toward the on-deck circle while Jonas Zayas picks it up. 2-2 on Julian. Beavers got 4 in the first, and looking for that first win. You want to keep putting runs up on the board, obviously. So Blackwell's trying to get on base here. Hits that one right over by the dugout. Hits the side of the dugout. Somehow misses Jonas Diaz, and he's going to go pick it up. Nice crowd out here. And a very nice day. Probably the finest weather day that we've had so far because it's not 38 degrees, and people can actually live in these conditions. 2-2 to Blackwell. Chops it over toward first base. That's a fair ball, and Lindsey's got it. Eventually reaches up and with his right foot taps the bag for the out. So Blackwell is retired, 3 unassisted for the second out of the inning, and here comes Jonas Diaz, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. That was a little cue shot down the first base line, and Lindsey had to kind of smother it. Managed to do so just in time to retire Julian Blackwell, and here's Diaz. Right-hand hitting right fielder. Open stance from that right side. Takes it outside for a ball, 1-0. Jake Morrell, the DH, on deck. If Jonas can get something going here for the Beavers in the bottom of the second. Juan Perez, the second baseman, playing almost behind second base as that fastball is inside. 2-0. So shortstop Jack Ingram is pulled way over into the hole, and Juan Perez is just to the second base side of second base. That's popped up down the right field line, but it's out of play over that picturesque area over there. Two balls and 1 strike. Danny May checks nobody, but does go to the stretch, and here's the pitch. That's chopped foul. We're by the on-deck circle while Jake Morrell tries to use his bat to stop it and fails miserably. But I think he'll get over it. 2-2 on Jonas. ARC up on this one 4-1. We're in the bottom of the second from Beaver Field. Happy to bring it to you on the ARC Athletics YouTube channel. That's a sharply hit ball to the left to second base into right center field for a base hit. Perez had him played pretty close, but that one went just to his left. Hit so hard by Diaz, his second hit of the season, and that was a beauty. 6th hit for the Beavers. And Jonas is down at first base, and here's Jake Morrell, who struck out his first time up. Very eventful strikeout, because on that strikeout is they got Diaz going down to second base, but he kept it going long enough so that Blackwell could score, and Diaz got back to first base, and then the Beavers put 4 straight hits together and put a couple more runs up on the board. Morrell takes inside for a ball off speed pitch, 1-0 on Jake. 250 coming in, 2 runs batted in. Out of Whitney High School. Aiden Imperial, the catcher, to follow. If he can keep it going, Diaz has a good lead over at first base. Goes over to first, does Danny May, and Jonas is back. I'm not going to say comfortably because he had to head first. That can't be comfortable. But he is safe nonetheless. Let's go see if he tries to extend that lead another half step. Pitch to the plate. Morrell hits it sharply. Big hopper out towards second. Perez has it. and goes over to first for the third out. So 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 2. It's the Beavers 4, the Cougars 1.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought. And
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
You know, if the Grateful Bread guy's been doing it his whole life, he's got to be pretty good at it. Because you come out of the womb and you're making bread or whatever, that's fantastic. We got to go over there or order from there or whatever you do. We've got to do it. Fantastic. We're headed for Grateful Bread. But first, the top of the third, Caden Cripps, Caden Sutzman, and Nathan Raleigh for the Lassen Cougars. That first pitch is hit high in the air to short center field. Ott's coming in, still coming in, and can't get it. He's going to drop in front of him for a single for Caden Cripps. In the air a long time. It's the third hit for the Cougars, and it brings up Caden Stutzman, who was hit by a pitch his first time. Actually, that's Cripps' second hit of the game. He's 2 for 2. That one was up, as we said, a long time, and Ott playing pretty much straight away or medium deep center field. Couldn't get to it. And here's Stutzman. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a ball, 1-0. Stutzman, a sophomore out of Twin Falls, Idaho, wearing number 20 in his San Francisco Giants-themed jerseys. I just say Giants to see if Stones is awake. It's hard not. You have to be awake to show the pictures. You know, the pictures here from Beaver Field. Fastball's high, 2-0. You don't get this excellent picture quality with a guy who's asleep behind the wheel. Although, you know, I've had people text me and wonder if he was. People following the broadcast. Pitcher's upside down or something. 2-0 pitch. Shows bunt again, and it's inside. Pulls him away, so it's quickly 3-0 on Caden Stutzman. Nathan Rowley on deck. 3-0 pitch coming from Moore. That looked good. It is on the inside corner, 3-1. Rowley and then Curtis Lindsay to follow if the Cougars keep it going here in the top of the third. Packard in at third. Here's the pitch. The runner goes, and it's ball 4. So a single and a base on balls. First and second, nobody out, and that will bring up Nathan Rowley. He singled his first time up, 5 for 12. Raleigh 5 for 12, 3 runs batted in on the season. He comes to us out of Mountain Crest, Utah. He's a freshman. He's a utility hitter, he listed as utility and also FHP. It's not a left-handed pitcher. It's not a right-handed pitcher. There's a breaking ball, misses outside as Raleigh showed bunt. So FHP, I'm going to send my guy. And they got a couple FHPs. I don't know what exactly that is. Maybe it's, no, there's RHPs, LHPs, and FHPs. I don't know. But it's that kind of stuff that keeps us alive. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, bunts it down the first base line, but it's foul. Willie Tatum came in, but Raleigh puts it down the line, foul. 0-1 on Nathan. Curtis Lindsey to follow. Runners at first and second. Cripps at second. Stutzman at first. Pitch on the way. Shows bunt again. Nice slider in there for a strike. And Nathan cannot quite believe that call as he looks aghast at the home plate umpire, who signals it is a 1-ball, 2-strike count coming up on this next pitch. Packard still even with the bag at third. Tatum behind the runner at first. Here's Moore's pitch. Well, so good job by Tyler Moore to get Raleigh to pop out to second base. And that'll bring up Curtis Lindsey, who grounded to third into a fielder's choice his first time up. Curtis with a home run and 6 runs batted in for the Cougars so far in this one. In the early season, as they only played 4 games at 2-2. And the right-handed first baseman steps in. Out of Legacy, Nevada, Curtis, a freshman. First pitch swung on a miss. Breaking ball in there. Nice job by Tyler Moore to get ahead in the count 0-1. Nice job by Aiden Imperial to get in front of that one. It had some movement on it. Curtis Lindsey wearing number 10 for the Cougars. Awaits the 0-1 offering from Tyler Moore. I had breaking ball, but it just misses. And the fans were already applauding the strike call, which never came. So isn't that what life's about? Oh, my gosh. You're always applauding a strike call that doesn't come. Put that on a pillow. Or not. 1-1. That ball's hit high in the air and well to center field, but Ott has a beat on it. It probably will get the runners to second and third. Ott's throw is going to come right into the middle of the infield, and Blackwell has it. He's got a runner trapped off first, but there's nobody at first base as Willie Tatum came over for the cut, and the end result of all that is a second out of the inning, and going over to third is Caden Cripps. So Lindsey's retired on a fly to center field. 2 outs. Stutzman still at first base, and that will leave it all up to Dax Sayer, who came in at 7 for 12 with 4 runs batted in, hit a line drive to right field his first time up that Diaz handled. So he is 0 for 1. Dax out of Minico, Idaho, a freshman outfielder and right-handed pitcher. See, RHP, I know what that is. I don't know. He takes that one right down the middle for a strike. And I think that would not have been a strike. Then our guys in front of us would have had a little problem. 0-1. They did not applaud that one before it was called, though. Learned their lesson, I suppose. 0-1. Trying to see what kind of canines we got out here. We always want to check that out. Here's the 0-1. That's hit sharply to the right of shortstop. Knocked down by Eels. He gets up. He throws it across the diamond. Did he get him? What a play by Darren Eels. He is out at first base. Saves a run. What a play by the shortstop, Darren Eels. And Sayer is out 6-3. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left at the end of 2.5. It's the Beavers 4, the Cougars 1.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it and they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Network.
They say that when you make a great play, you're always the first one to come up in the next inning. Well, that's not true. Aiden Imperial's the first one to come up, but Darren Eels will be up third in this inning, and he made the excellent defensive play to stop that rally in the top of the third for the Cougars. It'll be Aiden Imperial, then Willie Tatum, and then Darren Eels. All three coming up with singles, their first appearance back in the first inning. So Aiden is 1 for 1 as a run scored. That one's inside for a ball from Danny May, out for his third inning of work. He's given up 4 runs on 6 hits. has a strikeout. Has hit a batter. 1-0 coming to Aiden Imperial. Pops it up right side out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Imperial wearing number 4 for the Beavers today. Beavers wearing their home whites. Got the blue, got the red. 1-1 from Danny May. Breaking ball in there, call strike 2. Nice pitch by May. Came in with a 1-0 record and a 1.59 earned run average in 5 2/3 innings. Beavers roughed him up a little bit back in the first. He got through the second with just a single hit allowed. That's hit sharply right at shortstop. It's Ingram picking it up, coming across the diamond, and he'll get him by a step at first base. So Jack Ingram throws out Imperial. 1 away, and here's Willie Tatum. RBI single back in the first for Willie, his second run batted into the season.
Now batting for the Beavers, number 1, first baseman Willie Tatum.
Settles in, the 6'3" sophomore out of Grant. Slightly open stance against the right-hander Danny May. And May working from the stretch as always. First pitch swerves outside on the slider, 1-0. That is a trademark term, swerves outside. I will be. Stones McCoy never stopping to remind me that he got Chick-fil-A before the game, and I did not, which is fair. 1-0 pitch hit well, but fouled to left field. I guess Stones is, as he always does, he's made friends with all the staff here, and so they brought him some Chick-fil-A. And now he's thinking maybe he'll go back to college at AR and become part of the coaching staff or something. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe to redshirt. I'm not sure. He doesn't think these things through. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Beautiful pitch by Danny May. It swerves in there for strike 2, 1-2. Usually the way he does it is he worms his way into, pitching batting practice or bullpen catching or something, and then it never stops from there. 1-2 pitch coming from May. Tatum takes call, strike 3. So 2 up, 2 down for the Beavers here in the third, and that leaves it up to Darren Eels, who has a single, an RBI, and a tremendous defensive play to his credit so far today.
The shortstop, Darren Eels.
Shortstop up here came in 143, 3 for 21. Picked up hit number 4 back in the first. Has scored 2 runs, now has an RBI on the board. Right-handed hitter against May. He chops that one foul back to the screen, so quickly 0-1 on Darren Eels. That one swerves in there for a strike. 0-2 on Darren Eels. Slightly open stance from the right side. Anthony Packard awaits. See a hill bat here in the bottom of the third. 0-2 pitch. Hit well into center field. Going back is Shure, still going back, and he makes a diving play. Did he get it? Yes, he did. An excellent defensive play in center field by Matt Shure. So Eels hits it well, but he's robbed by a defensive play by Shure. Nothing across for the Beavers in the third. We go to the fourth. It's ARC 4, Lassen 1.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the fourth, Beavers 4, Cougars 1. It's true, though. I mean, my son, he has no idea. He wouldn't know how to put a stamp on a letter, and yet he can order off in and out 17 different menus and never misses a beat. Oh, man, kids today. Here's Juan Perez leading off the top of the fourth against Tyler Moore. The first pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Perez walked back in the second inning. Stole second, but then was thrown out trying to steal third, actually trying to advance on what would have been a wild pitch, but Imperial picked it up and threw him out at third base. A big play in that inning for the Beavers. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's in there for a strike, 1-1. Top of the fourth, all are scoring in the first inning, 1 for Lassen, 4 for American River College. And Tyler Moore, the second pitcher for the Beavers, that's fouled out of play. Danny Bland went that first inning, getting a look for Coach Jay. And Tyler Moore came on in the second. Giving up 2 hits in 2 innings. Ahead in the count 1-2 to Juan Perez. Swung on, missed, got him on strikes, going to have to pick it up. Imperial's going to gun it down to first base, and he does for the out. A good job by Tyler Moore and by Aiden Imperial. 1 out, and it's the top third of Matt Schur, who made an excellent defensive play to end the bottom of the third on a line drive by Darren Eels out in center field. Matt has walked twice, so he remains at 2-11 with 3 runs batted in. Has scored a run in this one. Right-hand hitting center fielder from British Columbia. Shows bunt, pulls it back, it's outside for a ball. I'm assuming Gulf Island Secondary School in BC is British Columbia. That's what we're thinking. Might be beyond Colorado? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Big California? That doesn't make sense either. We'll go with British Columbia. That one swung on and missed. Nice fastball from Tyler Moore, the right-hander. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Matt Schur. Jack Ingram, the shortstop, to follow. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball just misses inside. It did not swerve in, it swerved out. And it's 2-1 on Matt Schur. S-C-H-U-R-E, Matt Schur. Sophomore outfielder awaits the 2-1 pitch. Chops it foul back to the screen, so Moore is even in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reminder, we're back here next Thursday. Actually, we're not back at Beaver Field. We're back at whatever the softball field is called. Beaver Softball Field, I guess. We're going to get it's got its own name, okay, so we'll get that. We're going to be video only for the noon game, and then 2 o'clock. We'll have the entire production together. That's chopped over toward Willie Tatum, who waits for it, gets it on a short hop, and flips it to the pitcher covering Tyler Moore for the out. So that was one of the shortest flips from a first baseman I've seen to a pitcher, as Willie was not very far away, but the ball was slowly hit. And give Moore credit for getting over there. For the second out, here's Jack Ingram, who sacrificed and doubled, so he is 1 for 1. So we're over at the softball field next Thursday at noon and at 2, and then back inside to Hutchinson Gym for our final time. Fastball is outside as the Beavers take on the Mustangs from Delta College in the final Big 8 Conference game of the season. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. That'll make it 1-1. Women's game will be at 5:30 next Thursday. Men's game at 7:30. They usually are on Fridays, but they moved them up for the holiday. And then on the holiday, it'll be these Beavers back in action at home against the Butte College. I should know Butte College, and I don't know what they are, but they're up in Orville. I know that. That really bugs me. I should know Butte College just because we did football games, and I've been to basketball games and stuff. Well, I'll get on that. Anyway, I believe that's a 1 o'clock first pitch, Stones McCoy, is it not? That'll be next Friday, and we will be live, of course, on American River College Athletics YouTube. That's chopped foul by Ingram. 2-2, so a lot of action toward the end of next week, as we don't like to crowd on Valentine's Day. you know. So we planned all our action for late in the week, and we're all over it Thursday and Friday. Excited to get out to the softball field. Here's the pitch to Ingram. Lines it right at second base. Going up high is Julian Blackwell to make the catch. So Ingram's line drive is caught by Blackwell. 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Beavers 4, the Cougars 1.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides students the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed it.
God against Danny May. Beavers leading this one 4-1, all scoring in the first inning for both teams as Packard awaits. He is 1 for 1 today with an RBI single back in that first inning. Hits one high up in the air and well hit to center, but sure is going to have a beat on that one. Not going to have to make a sensational play. Grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up, out to the shortstop, so he is 0 for 1. 3 for 18 coming in. That fastball's right down the middle, splits the plate in half. 0-1 on Marcus. Top of the order, Dominic Ott on deck. On 5 hits in the first inning, just a single hit since then. Breaking ball on the outside corner, call that strike 2. 0-2 on California, which is way on up there to the north. That's the best way I can describe it. Just way up. How far? I don't know, way up there. It's a couple hours. On for the Beavers here in the fourth, and here's Dominic Ott, who grounded sharply to second base in the first and then hit a deep fly ball to left field in the second, but he is 0 for 2 to show for it. And he steps in against Danny May, the sophomore Dominic Ott out of Wood Creek High School. Breaking ball's hit sharply out toward third. Shortstop's going to have to get it. Ingram, a long throw. Nice play by Jack Ingram. Behind the third baseman, guns it across the diamond to get Dominic Ott. So Dominic's hit it good 3 times. Has nothing to show for it. We go to the top of the 5th.
Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 5th, and it is a 4-1 count for the Beavers, and they'll face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the top of the 5th. Then Cripps and Stutzman. Nicholas with the sun right back out. The pitcher's going to pick it up, and over to first is Moore. A nice play by Tyler Moore to retire Kyle Nicholas. Nice idea for a bunt, just a little bit too close to the pitcher. Now, Anthony Packard was coming in, had a chance at it, but I think correctly Tyler Moore called him off and made the right-handed hitter. He shows bunt and pulls it back, and that's down low. Cripps singled back in the first, singled in the third. 1-0 pitch. That's popped up left side. Eels is going to go out into short left field. He's going to wave off the left fielder and make the catch for the second out. He has been hit by a pitch and walk, so he's been on base twice. Haven't really had an official at bat yet. And he is from Twin Falls, Idaho. Cripps from Post Falls, Idaho. So Twin Falls and Post Falls. They're from the Falls. He shows bunt, takes a strike on the inside corner. Now they have another guy from Klamath Falls, but that's in Oregon. So 3 Falls might be a record. Do a little research. Maybe Stones can do that. He's not doing anything else. That's chopped out towards shortstop. Moving on over, picking up his Eels to first base. A nice inning for Tyler Moore. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Beavers lead this one 4-1.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the 5th, Danny May still out on the mound for the Cougars. He'll face Julian Blackwell, then Jonas Diaz, and Jake Morrell, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Beavers. Blackwell was a single back in the first and then grounded out to first in the second, so he's 1 for 2. Scored a run back in the first inning. That's a slider is in there for a strike from Danny May. 0-1 on Julian out of Antelope Valley. Blackwell bunts it down the third baseline. Beautifully done. Cripps is going to pick it up, throw it. It's too high. It's into right field. And there goes Blackwell. Makes a left turn. He's going to take off for second. The throw is going to be too late. Blackwell, an infield single and error on the third baseman. And he's down at second base to open the bottom of the 5th. Beautiful bunt. And he's down at second base. And that'll bring up Jonas Diaz, as Stones McCoy reminds me about the crab feed coming up on February the 18th. That's tremendous. We'll get to that later. That's a slider in there for a strike. So Blackwell drops it down the third baseline. Cripps came in, got it, threw it to first. I think Blackwell was going to beat it out anyway. The throw was high, and Julian took a left turn and set out for second base where he sits right now. Actually, he leads off right now, and Diaz at the plate. Perez bluffing in there. Here's the pitch. Popped up right side over by the dugout. Here comes the catcher over and doesn't make the play. He had it in his glove and it popped out. He's in that corner right where the fence meets the side of the concrete dugout. And very hesitant over there. Had the glove on it, but it popped out. He had it, didn't really basket catch it, had it straight up and it popped out of the glove. Kind of didn't know. I think that's familiar with the field right there. And a break for Jonas Diaz as he has another chance. 0-2 now on Diaz. Jake Morrell on deck. Blackwell out at second base. That's swung on and fouled into the catcher's glove, so Diaz is out on strikes. He was hit by a pitch and singled, so he is 1 for 2 now. That is the 4th strikeout, it looks like, for Danny May, and that'll bring up Jake Morrell, who struck out and grounded to second. So he is 0 for 2 here. Came in at 250. The DH out of Whitney High School. He's got the runner down at second base, and now the shortstop, Ingram, can play right behind Blackwell and keep Julian close. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Kyle Miklas behind the plate for Lassen College. The Cougars out of Susanville. Curtis Lindsay at first, Juan Perez at second, Jack Ingram short, Caden Cripps at third, Caden Stutzman in left, Matt Schur in center, and Nathan Raleigh over in right. Danny May is going to throw back to second base to Ingram, who does the fake thing again. Now you see me 3. David Blaine stars. And again, they didn't fall for it, but I bet somebody will this season. Somebody will fall for that. It would have been Stones McCoy had he been a player. I don't know how he would have got out to second base. Pinch runner maybe. Morrell takes that one down low for a ball. That is 2-0 on Jake. I don't know. I could not see any coach, manager being desperate enough to send Stones McCoy in there to run. But, at one time, perhaps. 2-0 to Morrell. Blackwell getting the lead. Here comes the runner behind him again. They throw behind him, and he's safe at second base. Julian not really off that far. Well-timed, well-executed pickoff try by May and Ingram, but Blackwell just not off the base far enough to make it successful and got in there with the head-first dive. Same head-first dive he scored on back in the first inning on the double steal. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply, fair down the first base line into the right field corner. Blackwell will score easily. Morrell's get around first. He's at second. He's thinking about maybe third. He's going to third. It's cut off by the second baseman. The throw, Morrell head first. That's an RBI triple for Jake Morrell, and the Beavers lead it 5-1. Blackwell scores the run. 7th hit for the Beavers, and Jake just overpowered that one down the first base line. And went all the way to the corner, and it kept on running. I imagine he's going to have to take a timeout. If there was a basketball, we'd call timeout so Jake can get a chance to catch his breath. And here's Aiden Imperial. The RBI triple for Jake Morrell, his 3rd run batted into the season. He's down to 3rd as the infield is in for the Cougars. And here's the pitch to Imperial. He takes outside for a ball. Aiden is a single and a ground to shortstop. So he is 1 for 2 as a run scored. Came in at 200. One 0 pitch coming from Danny May. Imperial check swing. It's in there for a called strike. So it's 1-1 on Aiden. Came in, he was 1 for 5. Did have 2 runs batted in, still does have 2 runs batted in, trying to get number 3 right now. May comes set, looks at the runner, here's the pitch. Takes it inside for a ball, that one is inside. So ahead in the count, 2-1, he's followed by Willie Tatum in the Beavers order, the first baseman. Waits on deck. Blackwell opened up with a bunt single, went to second on a bad throw by the third baseman, and scored on the RBI triple from Jake Morrell. And now it's Imperial up here with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Morrell leads from third. Aiden lines it into left center field. Sure's going over. Is he going to be able to catch it? I don't think so. It's going to be one hop in the fence out there. Imperial's at second. He's thinking about third. He stops at second. It's an RBI double for the Beavers. Morrell scores, and it's now 6-1 in favor of ARC. Second hit of the game for Aiden Imperial. That's his 3rd run batted into the season, and he was all over that one. Got ahead in the count 2-1 and jumped on it. And it's now 6-1 for the Beavers as they look for their first win of the season. And here's Willie Tatum. Willie is RBI single back in the first. He looked at a called third strike in the third, so he is 1 for 2. Imperial leading at second base. That's a breaking ball in there for a called strike. 0-1 on Willie Tatum. Darren Eels, the shortstop, to follow. Imperial leading at second base. Perez is shadowing him. Here's the 0-1. That's a breaking ball. That's a beautiful pitch in there. 0-2 on Willie Tatum. Beavers 0-6 on the season. Cougars are 2-2. A win over Hartnell and a win over Yuba. 0-2 coming to Willie Tatum. Fastball just misses outside, 1-2. Beavers with 4 in the first, and they put 2 up on the board here in the second with a couple of big extra base hits. The RBI triple by Morrell and the RBI double by Aiden Imperial. He leads at second base, the 1-2 coming to Willie Tatum. Breaking ball swung on and missed. So Tatum's out on strikes, 2 outs. 5th strikeout for Danny May, and that brings up Darren Eels, who has an RBI single back in the first and fly to center on a great play by Matt Schur back in the third. So Darren has been all over it twice, and he's got Imperial at second base. Breaking ball nicely thrown in there for a strike. 0-1. May's made a lot of nice pitches in this one, but the Beavers have been all over him for 8 hits now in 4 2/3 innings. A couple of those big blows. That's in there for call, strike 2. 0-2 on Eels. Bottom of the 5th here. Beavers lead at 6-1. Stones McCoy trying to check the Beavers bullpen to see if there's any activity, but it's impossible to tell because there's many fences and stuff between us and them. 0-2 coming to Darren Eels. That's fouled out of play on a fastball. He stays alive, 0-2. If he can keep it going, Anthony Packard is on deck. Darren slightly open stance from the right side against the right-hander May, with Imperial leading at second base. That's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Miklas, and going to third is Imperial. He rounds it, but Miklas picks it up and May covers home plate, so it's a wild pitch, and Imperial will go down to third. Just 1-2 now on Darren Eels. Darren 1 for 2 in this game. Picked up his second run batted into the season, back in the first inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. So 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 left. We're done with 5 innings. It's the Beavers 6 and the Cougars 1.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 6th, Tyler Moore finishing up his warm-up tosses. Just do want to put a little note in your ear about the crab feed coming up on February 18th from 5 to 10 at the ARC Student Center. Great food, great drinks, silent auction. Garrett Perkins Project will be providing the music. Just go to ARC Beavers and follow all the prompts and everything. Or you can go to your screen right now and scan the QR code with your phone and pick up tickets. They're $70, and all the proceeds go to support our ARC student athletes. First pitch is down low by a student athlete. That's Tyler Moore to Nathan Raleigh. Raleigh is singled and popped out, so he is 1 for 2. And we thank you in advance for your support of ARC and the athletic program. chopped foul down the right field line out of play. Steve Roberson, the AD, out here envisioning great things for the Beavers sports programs. And is he out there? Oh, he's on the right field trying, just checking things out. That's a line drive to right field. Diaz is on the move, reaches up, and makes the catch. Jonas Diaz with an excellent play in right field. A couple of gems for the Beavers out here today. And Raleigh is retired and maybe didn't deserve to be because he hit that ball really well as Diaz makes the catch in right center field, running away from home plate. And here's Curtis Lindsay. So I guess Steve was pretty pleased with what he saw out in right field. I guess he knew the next play was going to right field. That's how you get to be those AD guys, is you just know what's going to happen before it happens. Pitch to Lindsay, a fastball in there for a strike 0-1. Curtis is hitting to a fielder's choice and flied to center, so he is 0 for 2. Came in 1 for 8, but that one hit was a home run, and he does have 6 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter with a slightly open stance. The 0-1 pitch is hit sharply back up the middle. Backhanded by Blackwell. No, he couldn't make the play, and it's on into center field for a base hit for Lindsay. Julian looked like he had that one, but even if he did, I think Lindsay probably would have beaten it out as Blackwell running away from first base. That is the 5th hit of the game for the Cougars, and it'll bring up Dax Sayer, who has flied to right and grounded to short. And he grounded to short on the great play by Darren Eels back in the 3rd. So Dax is 7 for 12 coming in, so makes him 7 for 14 now. A couple of well-hit balls, but nothing to show for it. He has 4 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Imperial. There goes Lindsay to second base. Eels trying to pick the throw up, but it hops and it goes into center field. So had a chance at Lindsay, but the throw was a little bit short, and Eels trying to backhand it and then swipe tag. Couldn't make the play. It rolled out to center where Dominic Ott retrieved it. Lindsay had to stop there, but he is at second base with 1 out. And a 1-ball, no-strike count on Dax Sayer with Juan Perez to follow. That's in the dirt again, and there goes Lindsay again. Imperial picks it up, throws a third, and that time Lindsay is out by a long way. You could see that one coming. Second time that Imperial has taken a potential wild pitch and thrown out a runner at third base, and that's a real help for your pitcher there as Tyler Moore breathes a sigh of relief. 2 outs now, and Sayer at the plate with a 2-ball, no-strike count. Dax is a freshman out of Minico, Idaho. Slightly open stance. Takes a fastball, misses. 3 balls and no strikes on Sayer. That one just did not get far enough away from the catcher to try to advance. That's in the dirt, ball 4. So going down to first base is Sayer. Juan Perez to the plate. He's walked and he struck out. Danny Valenz went the first inning for the Beavers today, and this is the 5th inning for Tyler Moore, who's given up 3 hits and has walked 4, actually. Good lead at first by Sayer. The pitch in the dirt, picked up by Imperial. He thought about throwing behind the runner, did not do so. So it's 1-0 on Juan Perez with Matt Schur, the leadoff hitter, waiting in case the opportunity arises here in the top of the 6th. Beavers lead at 6-1. Sayer off at first base. Decent lead over there. Fastball misses outside. Ball 2. 2-0. Perez 1 for 9 coming in and an RBI for the Cougars. And we're going to get a meeting at the mound here. We're going to step away for just a second during this meeting at the mound. And mind you, this is American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Network. Top of the 6th. Beavers lead this one 6-1.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Nothing like a little Grateful Bread in your life. I love that. He's been doing his whole life. He started Grateful Bread because he needed a job. And he said, well, hey, what have I been doing my whole life? Bread. Tremendous job by him. There goes the runner. High fly ball, well hit to center field. Ott's going to go back, and Dominic's still going back. Reaches up right by the warning track and makes the catch. So that ball was hit well by Juan Perez, but hauled in by Dominic Ott. No runs, one hit, and one left. We go to the bottom of the sixth. The Beavers lead this one 6-1.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Bottom of the sixth, Brady Glenn, the left-handed pitcher out of Willows, the sophomore. Number 25 is the new pitcher for Lassen. He relieves Danny May, who went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, and struck out 6. Glenn making his second appearance of the season, just 1 inning to his credit so far, and he'll face Anthony Packard, who swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. 0-1, and then Marcus Babada and Dominic Ott, 8-9-1 for the Beavers. That's fouled back to the screen. 0-2 on Packard, who singled back in the first, an RBI single, then flied to center in the fourth. So he's 1 for 2, giving it 176, picking up his second run batted in. I mean, that his third run batted in of the season. 0-2. Fastball just inside, ball 1. I had to think maybe Anthony didn't know that one was coming. Kind of thinking it was going to do something else, because it almost was in there for a strike, but he lives to swing another day, 1-2. Open stance from the right side from the freshman out of Colfax. Here's the 1-2. Takes that one inside, 2-2. That was microscopically more inside than the one before, so that had to feel easy. Easy take right there. Marcus Babada waits on deck. 8-9-1 for the Beavers here in the sixth. That's popped up, foul out of play, so it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Brady Glenn, the new pitcher. We are in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, picked up by Miklas down to first base, and Packard is retired. 1 out here in the sixth, and that'll bring up Marcus Babada, who is into a fielder's choice and struck out. So Marcus is 0 for 2 today, and he is the Beaver who has Bon Jovi for his walk-up song, You Give Love a Bad Name, which, you know, I've met people like that, but I mean, it's just a curious thing. Although I think the first time he came up this season, he wrapped a base hit with Bon Jovi ringing in our ears, so maybe it works for him. That pitch is outside. No, it's on the outside corner, which is evidently quite large. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Babada, left-hander against the left-hander, the newcomer, Brady Glenn. Sets that one outside, and it's a ball. It was also low, so 1 ball, 1 strike on Babada. Beavers with 4 in the first and 2 in the fifth to offset the Cougars run in the top of the first. That's a fastball. That looked good. It was on that outside corner, so it's 1-2 on Marcus Babada. 7th game of the season for the Beavers, looking for win number 1. And Babada awaits. That's lined into right field for a base hit. Got an off-speed pitch, reached out and poked it into right field. Well done by Marcus Babada. He is up for the satisfaction of hitting the ball well 3 times. Hard grounder to second, long fly to left, sharp grounder to shortstop. Excellent play by Jack Ingram on that one, back in the 4th inning. So Bon Jovi gets another base hit for Marcus Babada, and now here's Dominic Ott. I did not recognize his walk-up song. Throw over to first base, and getting back is Babada. At shortstop. Babada off at first base. Glenn's going to go over there again, and Babada's back in there. And Curtis Lindsey just throws it back to the pitcher this time, just regular. Happy you're with us here on the American River College Athletics YouTube or Stones Radio Network's YouTube. We had really good viewership in our first couple of games. Swung on and missed by Ott, and we are pleased you're checking us out. You can subscribe to the American River College Athletics YouTube. Just hit where it says subscribe and join the ever-growing list of people who are doing so. Here's the pitch to Ott. Popped up on the infield. Called the third baseman call. Now the pitcher calls, but Cribb, the third baseman, is going to call him off, come in and make the catch for the second out. So Ott is retired, and here's Julian Blackwell. Couple of hits for Julian today. A line drive off the pitcher's glove in the first inning, and then a bunt single in the 5th. He scored both times. So Julian is 2 for 3. He's up here with 2 outs and a runner on in the bottom of the 6th. That's a fastball, sails outside from Glenn, so it's 1-0 on Blackwell. Babada down at first. He's singled with 1 out. Then the Ott pop-up is out number 2. Blackwell swings and misses. A little off-speed pitch. Took something off that one, and Julian had a really good cut at it, but no contact. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jonas Diaz to follow. Today's right fielder who made a fine running catch. A lot of good fielding plays from the Beavers so far today. Here's the throw over to first base, but he is back. Eels with a tremendous play at shortstop and Diaz in right field. The two that really stand out. 1-1 on Blackwell. Good lead over at first by Babada. And he's going back over to first as Glenn, and that one is a low throw that Lindsey has to block. So it stays 1 ball, 1 strike. Blackwell from Antelope Valley. A sophomore, playing second base for the Beavers today. Here's the pitch to the plate. Julian fouls that one back to the screen, where it's retrieved by Jonas Diaz. 1-2 on Julian Blackwell. Danny Valen started for the Beavers today. Tyler Moore has gone 5 innings. I don't know if he'll be out for number 6. We did see some milling around for the Beavers in the pen, so we'll find that out when the inning starts. But right now it's Blackwell. Popped up. Lindsey calling for it, foul territory. Now fair territory, and he makes the catch for the out and then falls to the ground. It was a tough play. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're done with 6. We go to the top of the 7th. Beavers lead this one 6-1.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought. and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Moving into the top of the 7th inning here from Beaver Field. Tyler Moore still out on the hill for the Beavers. Remember, he came on in the 2nd inning to relieve Danny Valens and has been with us ever since. He's given up 3 hits in all that time. He has walked 5, but he is still out there. And he will face the top of the order, Matt Schur, and then Jack Ingram and Kyle Miklas. Matt, the center fielder out of British Columbia, has walked twice and grounded back to the pitcher. And that fastball is in there for a call strike on 1. No balls, 1 strike on Schur. Slightly open stance from the right side. Packard playing up even with the bag at third base. 0-1 pitch. He shows bunt, but it's an off-speed pitch and it misses 1-1. Schur, Ingram, and Miklas. Schur came in 4 out of 19, now 4 out of 20 on the season. That one is in the dirt again, so it's 2-1. I'm not sure. Moore had a conversation out on the mound in the bottom or the top of the 6th because of a little bit of control difficulty, so I don't know that he'll be out there too much longer if he gives up a walk or 2 in this inning. It is his 6th inning of work already. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt again, 3-1. But that's just me thinking out loud. Three and 1. Schur opening up the top of the 7th here for the Cougars. 2-2 on the season. Fastball is down low, ball 4. So Schur walks for the 3rd time today, doing what a leadoff man's supposed to be doing. He's down at first base, and that'll bring up Jack Ingram, who is sacrificed, doubled, and lined out to 2nd base. Jack out of Eagle, Idaho. PA announcer Matt pronounces the name Ingraham, and I look at it again, and that's probably the way you're supposed to do it, and that's why he gets the big bucks, and I get meager bucks. Here's the pitch. It's outside. 1-0. That's why he gets all the apparel, too, he reminds me, although he should be paying attention to his own job, but he's listening to me, which I can't blame him on that, really. Aiden Imperial is going to go out and talk to Tyler Moore, and they'll chat about whether Matt's being disrespectful to me or not. And I would say the answer is going to be yes. Or they might be talking about the crab feed on February 18th. A lot of times the players like to remind each other about that because it benefits the student athletes. So I'm sure that's what they're doing. And Stones McCoy is getting antsy, so he's talking all the time over there now. He's like, oh, it's called a ball. Second is Matt Schur, his 2nd stolen base of the game. He has scored the only run for the Cougars up until now, back in the 1st. I'm just going to call him Ingram. He lines that one to left field. Coming on is Babada and makes the catch. Guns it back to 2nd base and almost doubles the runner off, showing off a strong arm out there as Ingram lines it, hit the ball hard again. He's been impressive at the plate, but just 1 for 3 to show for it. And here's Kyle Miklas. Sacrifice fly in the 1st, a fly to left in the 2nd, and ground out to the pitcher back in the 5th inning. So the left-hand hitter is up here against the right-hander Tyler Moore. Kyle Miklas out of Waller, Texas, sophomore catcher. Waits for Moore's first pitch as dancing off second is Schur. That's a nice breaking ball in there for a strike on 1. Christian Lucero warming up in the bullpen for the Beavers. The sophomore submariner. I don't call him sidewinder. Submariner, I think, is better. 0-1 now on Miklas. Here's the pitch. Check swing did not go and was a little bit high with a fastball from Tyler Moore. 1 ball, 1 strike on number 5, Kyle Miklas. Caden Cripps, the third baseman, on deck. He's got a couple of hits today for the Cougars out of Susanville. Here's Moore to the plate, 1-1. Fastball on that inside corner. Nice location for Tyler Moore, and it's a 1-2 count to Kyle Miklas. Tatum, Blackwell, Eels, and Packard on the infield. Imperial behind the plate for ARC. Here's the 1-2. There goes the runner. It's in the dirt, and no throw will be made. Sure steals third base, and he's over there with nobody out, or excuse me, 1 out here, and a 2-2 count on Kyle Miklas. Babada, Ott, and Diaz in the outfield for the Beavers. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Kyle Miklas. Runner leads from third. The pitch, high, ball 3. Fastball never close. 3-2 on Miklas. Wonder how long after the game, if you're like the Cougars, do they stop right after the game and get something to eat, or do they drive all the way to, halfway to Susanville? That's a line drive right field, foul ball. Just thinking about that because Stone says it's a 5-hour drive, but in a bus it might even be longer. You never know. Depends on the bus driver, I guess. It's a long trip is what I'm saying. 232. How long do you think it could take me in the PT Cruiser? A day and a half. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, ball 4. And Miklas is on base with a base on ball. Second walk of the inning for Moore. First and third now with 1 out. And that'll bring up Caden Cripps, who singled in the first, singled in the third, and then popped to short in the 5th. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound and perhaps a pitching change. We're going to pull back here a little bit. We are in the top of the 7th, 1 out, 2 on, and the Beavers lead this one 6-1.
Beat by DJ Stones. Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Sophomore Christian Lucero out of River City High School is the new pitcher for the Beavers. His third appearance of the season. He's given up one earned run on his 3 previous innings. He'll face Caden Cripps with a runner at first and third and 1 out here in the 7th. There goes the runner from first. The throw's going to go down. They're going to try to make the play, and I think they got him. Yes, they did. Beautiful throw by Imperial and a fine tag by Darren Eels. And Christian Lucero thinks that 2 outs is enough for this inning. Let's go into the dugout. So maybe he didn't get the whole skinny when he came into the game as far as what the situation was. But that obscures the fact that's a real big play by the Beavers defense. They've done a couple of those today. That's the third runner thrown out by Aiden Imperial. And that is the second out, as over at third is still Matt Schur. The pitch was called a strike. That one is a big bender outside for a ball 1-1. Cripps with a single in first and third and then popped out in the 5th. So first and third, they tried the double steal, and Imperial just threw it right through, and the Beavers take that runner off the board. That pitch is low for a ball, 2-1. And we're 2 outs here in the 7th. Imperial's thrown out 2 runners at third, and he's thrown out 1 at second. That pitch is big chopper to second base. Blackwell has it. Going to run it all the way over. Underhand it to first. Nice job by Christian Lucero in the defense. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th, and the Beavers lead this one 6-1.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Network.
Bottom of the 7th, Beavers lead this one 6-1. Brady Glenn on for his second inning of work for the Cougars. He'll face Jonas Diaz, then Jake Morrell and Aiden Imperial. 3, 4, and 5. Diaz was hit by a pitch and scored in the first, and a single in the second, struck out in the 5th, so he is 1 for 2. That fastball is called a strike on the inside corner at the shoulders, perhaps. Okay, maybe the chest, not the shoulders. I'd have been a little too high. 0-1 on Jonas. That's it sharply down toward shortstop. Deep in the hole. Ingram picks it up, throws to first on the short hop. Did he get it? No, he's juggling it. It's safe at first base, and Lindsey goes to the ground again. So Ingram, a tremendous play deep in the hole. His throw a little bit short, and Lindsey bobbles it at first, and so it's going to be a single for Diaz. He is down at first base, and Jake Morrell is the hitter. An umpire with the juggling call. I mean, that was tremendous. That was definitely jumbling or juggling. I don't think it was jumbling, but if there's juggling and tumbling at the same time, that would be awesome. Here's Morrell. Breaking ball, drops in for a strike, and Jake has struck out in the first, grounded a second in the second, and then an RBI triple down the line in right field in the 5th. His third run batted into the season, he is 1 for 3. A high fly ball center field. Schuer's coming in. He's got a beat on it. Runner goes halfway, and Matt handles it out in center field for the first out. So Morrell put a good swing on it, hits it out to center field for the first out, and here's Aiden Imperial, who's singled and scored in the first, grounded to short in the third, and then an RBI double in the 5th. So Aiden is 2 for 3, came in 1 for 5 for the season. So make that 3 for 8 And his third run batted in as he takes the first one outside corner for a strike on one. Willie Tatum to follow. Aiden also thrown out 3 runners today, 2 at third and 1 at second on the base paths, which have been critical to keeping the Cougars down to 1 run. Here's Glenn's pitch. Imperial check swing right back to the backstop, so it is quickly 0-2 on Aiden Imperial. Willie Tatum's going to go over and get that one. Leading at first is Diaz. He singled to open the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Imperial hits it sharply to the right of shortstop into left field for another base hit. That's his 3rd hit of the game. And he is at first. Down at second is Jonas Diaz. 2nd hit of the inning for the Beavers, 3rd off of Brady Glenn. And here's Willie Tatum. Willie with an RBI single in the 1st, and he also scored in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd and again in the 5th, so he is 1 for 3. First at bat against Brady Glenn, the sophomore out of Willows. That one's outside for a ball. 1-0 to Willie. He's followed by Darren Eels, the shortstop, the number 7 hitter in the Beavers order today, as they have the 6-1 lead, trying to put a couple more up on the board here in the bottom of the 7th. That one is outside for a ball, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on Willie Tatum, the sophomore out of Grant High. Glenn checks the runner at second. Tatum hits a high fly ball into center field. Sure is going back. And he's got a beat on it right in front of the warning track. They're going to tag at second is Diaz. He'll go to third as Tatum hits the ball well but retired on a fly ball to deep center field. Diaz is down at third. Staying at first is Aiden Imperial. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Darren Eels, who is RBI single back in the 1st, flied to center, deep to center in the 3rd, and struck out in the 5th. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound by the Cougars, and we'll step out for just a second as they're bringing all the infielders in, and that means it's going to be a long one. Right now, bottom of the 7th, Beavers 6, Cougars 1.
Beat by DJ Stones.
Back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Network.
Meeting at the mound is over. Umpire had to go break it out. Stones McCoy trying to use his Zoom cameras to try to get in there and tell what they were saying, but could not do so. He thinks the umpire went out and said, hey, guys, in and out after the game. Maybe he did. I don't know. Here's Eels. Breaking balls in the dirt, nicely blocked by Miklas. And no runners able to advance. It's 1-0 count on Darren. Anthony Packard to follow if Darren can keep it going here in the 7th, as the Beavers looking to put a couple more up on the board to fatten that lead. It's currently 6-1. Left-hander Glenn looks at the runner, the pitch right in there for a strike. 1-1. Aiden Imperial's over at first. Jonas Diaz at third. Beavers with 11 hits in this one. Got to be close to their high for the season. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. The throw's going to go down to second, but it's cut off by the second baseman as Imperial strides into second with his stolen base. Second and third now. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eels, as that was called strike 2. Yes, it was. The umpire heard the hesitation and went ahead and flashed the fingers. That's what we call it when the umpire tells you what the count is. Flashing the fingers. Flashing the fingers. It's, everybody knows it inside baseball, but yeah, it's an inside baseball term. 1-2 pitch. Fouled right over by the Cougars dugout. When I say right over, it was lined right in there and hit the fence as the Cougar bench all recoiled in horror. over there as they thought, the ball's coming at us. They panicked a little bit is what I'm saying. Still 1-2 on Darren Eels. He hits a line drive down the left field line. That is going to get down, and here comes one run, and second run coming around. It scores. 2 runs in, a 2-run single by Darren Eels, and that makes it 8-1 in favor of the Beavers. Dyer scores, Imperial scores. Eels with his second hit of the game. He's got 3 runs batted in, and that's a big one for Coach Jay and the Beavers as they now lead at 8-1. 2 runs on 3 hits in this inning. Here's Anthony Packer. RBI single, fly to center, and strikeout for Anthony today. The third baseman out of Colfax, a freshman, wearing number 12. Packard and Marcus Babada, the next batter, having kind of the biggest discrepancy is Packard goes up here with the Beastie Boys, and then Marcus comes up with Bon Jovi after him. So trying to throw the pitcher off, I think, basically, with their walk-up songs. First one is swung on and missed. Both from the East Coast. Thank you, Stones. Here's the 0-1. Packard takes inside for a ball, 1-1. So a couple of hits from Darren Eels today, 3 hits from Aiden Imperial. Well, I said 3. I meant 2, obviously. Swing and a miss. Sawed him off inside, and Packard didn't know what to do. As Stone starts flashing the fingers. It does not make you an umpire. By the way, I thought you were going to become an umpire. He's way too busy trying to run the camera and see what the umpire says to the guys on the mound. I think you might want to reconsider your career choices. That's in the dirt, ball 3. McLiss, another good block. Umpire flashes in the fingers, but in the old days, they used to just show the double fist for, that's a full count, a double fist. These days, it's 3 fingers and 2 fingers. Oh, man. Evolution, what a concept. Eels will be going on the 3-2. Here it is. That's chopped over the mound towards second, picked up by the second baseman, tags the bag with the glove. Very nicely done out there by Juan Perez. Fielder's choice for Packard, but not before 2 runs on 3 hits for the Beavers. We're done with 7. It's ARC 8 and Lassen 1.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies, and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 8th, Christian Lucero back on the mound for the Beavers. He'll face Caden Stutzman and then Nathan Raleigh and Curtis Lindsay, 5, 6, and 7 for the Cougars, who now trail at 8-1. First pitch, he's going to bunt it back to the screen, foul by Stutzman, who has been hit by a pitch, walked, and grounded to short. So he is 0 for 1. Caden comes to us from Twin Falls, Idaho. He is a sophomore. Pitch is a little bit high for a ball, 1-1 from Lucero. River City High for Christian, the sophomore last year. For a lot of the season, he had the saves lead in the Northern California, but then the Beavers didn't win any more games. And so it's hit sharply out towards second base. Blackwell waits for it, picks it up over to first, and they got him by half a step. A little bit closer than the Beavers would want it, but they got Sitzman at first, who hustled it out almost hustled himself into an infield single. One out, and Nathan Raleigh comes to the plate. He singled, popped to second, and flied to right. So Nathan is 1 for 3. He is out of Mountain Crest, Utah. Freshman. Check swing. Call strike on 1. Curtis Lindsey to follow. Top of the 8th, 1 out here. Look out inside for a ball, 1-1. Beavers back in action. They will be going out tomorrow, taking on Hartnell tomorrow and on Saturday. Then a 3-game series against Butte next week. Swing and a miss. Big frisbee ball from Lucero. Middle game of that one is on the 17th. That is next Friday. That will be a home game, so we'll be here at 1 o'clock. That's hit sharply to the left to second. Blackwell, nice. Did he get it all on a fly? No, he didn't, but he throws it to first for the out. I thought he might have got it on the fly, but Julian just kept running over to Willie Tatum and eventually got it over to him at first. So 2 outs, and here's Curtis Lindsey. And Butte College, the Roadrunners, did a little research and didn't have that. Should have had that, didn't have that earlier. Stones McCoy consulted what we used to do, the encyclopedias, and came up with the answer. So 2 outs, swing and a miss by Lindsey, and Curtis is fielder's choice in the first, flied to center in the third, and then singled in the 6th, so he is 1 for 3. At his second hit of the season, has 6 runs batted in, does have a home run. Hit that one sharply down to first, handled by Willie Tatum, and he'll take it himself. Good inning for Christian Lucero. Will go to the bottom of the 8th. The Beavers lead this one 8-1.
Job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Network.
New pitcher alert in the bottom of the 8th. Nathan Kohler, the right-hander, the freshman out of Bend, Oregon, coming on for Lassen Cougars. He is making his 2nd appearance of the season. He's had 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run allowed. He will go up against the bottom of the order, Marcus Babata, then the top of the order, Dominic Ott and Julian Blackwell, as the Beavers lead this one 8-1. Babata has hit into a fielder's choice, struck out and singled, so Marcus is 1 for 3 in this one. The left fielder wearing number 35, hitting from the left side against the right-hander Nathan Kohler. Danny May started, went 5 innings. Then Brady Glenn went the next 2. First pitch is down low for a ball. Glenn, 4 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 1. And now Nathan Kohler. From the windup, line drive center field coming on as Shore. He's going to reach up and make the catch. Almost came in too far. That one was hit well. Carried a little bit out to Shore in center field, so Mamata with a well-hit ball, but he is retired. 1 out, and here's Dominic Ott. Ott grounded to second, fly to left, grounded to short, and popped up to third. The pop-up, the only one he didn't hit well all day. That one's lined to left field. Moving over, and that one is deep in left field. Reaches up. Did he get it out there? Yes, he did. What a play out in left field, as Ott can't buy a break, as he hit that ball really hard and going all the way back with Stutzman to make a fine catch in left field. So 2 outs quickly, as Ott has to wonder. He's hadn't hit the ball well enough to get 2 or 3 hits tonight, and nothing to show for it. But his team is winning 8-1, so that is something that's big. Here's Blackwell. He's got a couple hits today. He takes that one. It's in there for a strike. Drops in. Singled and scored in the first. Grounded out in the second. Then singled and scored in the fifth. And popped out in the sixth. So Julian 2 for 4. Scored twice today. Kohler's next pitch drops in there for a strike again. A right-hander from the windup has an over-the-top delivery, and his jaw dropped in too. And I think Coach Jay's going to say, hey, look, come here. Julian, let me tell you something. This guy has got a sneaky delivery. This comes in over the top. You got to be watching for it. And it's quite the conversation, too. And Julian just kind of taking a deep breath and coming back up here. Oh, and 2, bottom of the 8th. Here's Kohler's 0-2. That's in the dirt for a ball. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Julian Blackwell if he can reach base. Jonas Diaz would be next for ARC. As Kohler, the third pitcher for the Cougars from Lassen College, gets set to deliver 1-2. That's chopped foul, and that one again right at the dugout and got the fence again. And that one, I'll tell you, that one was a panicker because that one was hit a little bit harder than the other one. And, I mean, it's enough to drive 232 miles, but to have people hitting line drives at you the whole game is not pleasant for the Cougar faithful over there. And we'll do it again, 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on strike. So good inning for Nathan Kohler. 1-2-3. We go to the top of the ninth. The Beavers lead this one 8-1.
Beat by DJ Stones.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the ninth, Christian Lucero on the mound for the Beavers. He will face Dax Sayer, then Juan Perez, and Matt Schur, 8, 9, and 1 as he tries to nail down the win for the Beavers. And for Tyler Moore, who went the middle 5 1/3, gave up just 3 hits and no runs. And Lucero's first pitch to Sayer is a strike. Sayers fly to right, grounded to short, and walked. So he is 0 for 2. Came in at 7 for 12. Now 7 of 14. High fly ball. Short center field. Ott's coming in. Eels is going out. Ott still coming in. Makes the catch on the run. Kind of indicative of what's happened today. The Beavers playing by far, I would say, their best defensive game, as they've made a lot of excellent plays and made all the routine ones as well. And Sayer is retired on a fly to center field. Brings up Juan Perez. Perez has walked, struck out, and flied out, so he is 0 for 2. First time he'll face Christian Lucero. That one is right in there for a strike on 1. Perez out of Waller, Texas. Same place as catcher Kyle Miklas. That one just bends outside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That one, look out inside. It hit him on the foot, I believe, so he'll go down to first base. Now he stops. Now he keeps going, so he will go down to first base, and Perez is on for the second time today. And that'll bring up Matt Shore. Shore has walked in the first, scored, walked in the second, walked in the seventh, and in between all that, he grounded back to the pitcher. So he is 0 for 1. It's a couple of stolen bases and a run scored. Came in at 2-11 with 3 runs batted in for the Cougars. He's got a runner at first. There's the pitch. Line drive down the right field line. Diaz is giving chase, still giving chase, and that's going to drop foul about 10 or 15 feet down the right field line. I think it was fair. I think Diaz might have been able to catch up to it, but not even close. And coming all the way back is Matt Shore. Lassen 2-2 on the season. Beavers 0-6. Leading off at first is Perez. There's the pitch. That's a short line drive into short left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Babada. And something going here in the 9th inning for the Cougars as they have runners at first and second and just 1 out. And Jack Ingram coming up to the plate. Or Jack Ingraham, excuse me. Number 2 is sacrificed, doubled, lined out, and lined out. So he's hit the ball well all the time. Line to second, line to left. Shows bunt, takes it, calls strike. Packard even with the bag over at third base. Kyle Miklas to follow. Left-hand hitting catcher regains his position atop the rubber. Comes set. That's outside for a ball. Good block by Aiden Imperial. 1 ball and 1 strike. The door shuts. I think every time a door slams like that, it's a ghost. I think that's what I've learned. If a door slams, it's a ghost. Swing and a miss by Ingraham. 1-2. 1 out here in the 9th. 1-2 pitch from Lucero. Chopped right in front of the plate. Lucero's going to pick it up, just go to first base with the underhand throw. And when I say underhand, I mean he throws it. It wasn't an underhand flip. It was a throw underhand, but doesn't really matter because he got the runner at first base. 2 outs. Moving up are Shore and Perez, so one's down at third base, and Matt is at second. And here's Kyle Miklas, who has a sacrifice fly to left, grounded out to the pitcher, and walked. Left-hand hitting catcher against the right-hander Lucero. Lines it foul down the third base line. And it's quickly 0-1 on Kyle Miklas. Lucero comes set. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-2. Quickly to Kyle Miklas. Oh and 2 on Miklas. Left-hander waits. Lined foul. Back into the screen on the left side, so it stays at 0-2. Caden Cripps, the third baseman, the cleanup man, is on deck in case Miklas can keep things going here for the Cougars. That's it sharply into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score, and here is the second run also scoring. It's a 2-run single for Miklas that makes it 8-3 in favor of the Beavers. Hit sharply, but not hit, scooted through the hole. So with 2 outs, here's Cribs, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Caden has singled twice, then popped to short and grounded to second, so he is 2 for 4 today. Pop up right side. It's on one hop to Willie Tatum. He's going to have to hurry. He's not going to get to first base. It's an infield single for Caden Cripps. Willie kind of played back. Maybe didn't see that one clearly. Kind of played back on it. Got it on the hop. And by the time he was able to get back, he not in time. And Cripps has his third hit of the day. Moving down to second is Miklas. Third hit of the inning for the Cougars, and they'll send up Caden Stutzman now, the left fielder. Got a pinch hitter, Jacob Cook, is going to come up and hit. The first baseman out of Klamath Falls, Oregon, the left-hander. Takes a fastball for a strike. So he'll bat for Stutzman. Stutzman 0 for 2 with a couple of... There's a ground ball to the right of second. A shortstop. Eels picks it up, can't pick it up, and he's not going to have a play. So Cook's going to reach base. We'll get to scoring on that one, as it would have been a really tough play for Eels in the hole to get the left-handed hitting Cook. I don't think he would have been able to go to third on the force. So we're going to give him the infield hit. Fourth hit of the inning. And now we've got pinch runner. That's Jack McDonald. He's going to come in, as Nathan Raleigh will be our hitter. And he said 22 for 21, which he did, and now there's a lot of chatter. The umpire wants to make sure he gets everything right, which I applaud. But Lucero's been out there for a while here as the Beavers trying to close down their first win of the season. 2 runs in, 2 on, first and second. And Raleigh actually make that the bases loaded. Okay, so, I don't know. That's right. Okay, I got it written down right here. Miklas, Cripps, and Cook, but now McDonald at first base. So the bases are loaded in Raleigh at the plate. Singled back in the first. That's outside for a ball. Singled in the first, popped out in the third, flied out in the sixth, then grounded out in the eighth. So he is 1 for 4. Right-handed hitter against the right-hander Lucero. Chops it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach Jay and the rest of the Beavers anxiously awaiting this final out. Want to nail this one down. Curtis Lindsey scheduled to be next, and he just, doesn't look like that's Curtis Lindsey. No, there he is. He's getting out to the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. Line drive, right center field, base hit, 1 run scores. Here comes the second. He will score. The ball's going to come into second base, first and third for the Cougars. They've scored 2 more, 4 in this inning, and it's now 8-5 in favor of the Beavers. 2-run single for Raleigh, and the 9th hitter of the inning is Curtis Lindsey. But we're not going to have Curtis Lindsey. We're going to have Drew Bradbury, a sophomore out of Colusa, hitting for Lindsey. So Bradbury comes in for Lindsey. And now we're going to have a meeting at the mound, and we're going to step out for just a second. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Beavers lead this one 8-5.
Beat by DJ Stones.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
David Centeno is the new pitcher for the Beavers with runners at first and third and 2 outs here in the ninth. David's fourth appearance. He's gone 10 to third innings, 7 hits and just 1 earned run. Is 0-1 on the season. Has 8 strikeouts to a single walk and an 0.97. Make that 0.87 ERA. And he steps up here against the pinch hitter Drew Bradbury, who's a left-handed pitcher according to my roster, but bats right. Runners at first and third. First pitch, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 0-1 on Bradbury. Batting for Curtis Lindsey, who was 1 for 4 while he was in there. Bradbury against David Centeno. 4 runs on 5 hits in the ninth. The same number the Beavers had in their first inning. The Cougars have in the ninth. Here's Centeno's next pitch. Outside, nice block by Imperial. And it is 1-1 on Drew Bradbury. Dax Sayer, the DH, is on deck. Raleigh is over at first base. Over at third, the pinch runner McDonald. 1-1 from Centeno. Breaking ball in there, call strike 2. 1-2 on Bradbury. Stones McCoy, who, when we do Lincoln Potters in the summer, he goes out when there's 2 outs in the ninth inning, and he's the last strike guy. He's just trying to do that up here. Here's the 1-2. That's outside for a ball. There goes the runner down to second. Nobody covering, so he will scoot in there, Will Raleigh. Aiden Imperial's already thrown a couple of runners out like that today. He was looking to see if anybody was there, but nobody at second base. So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Cougars. And a 2-2 count on Drew Bradbury. Two pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So Centeno comes in and gets the save. And the Beavers get their first win of the year. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 left. The final score, American River 8 and Lassen College 5. We're back with our Beavers post-game show with me and my buddy Stones McCoy. Right after this, you're watching American River College Athletics on YouTube. Presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
Get up! I'm just a rider. I'm just a rider.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Network.
Well, here we are with the first ever Beavers post-game show. Now, usually we'd have a Beavers player of the game, Stones McCoy, but since we don't have all our equipment set up, and there's half of it is over in the gym, and none of it is over here, we won't do that today. Although we will announce that Aiden Imperial, the catcher, is today's Beaver player of the game. 3 hits, and he threw out 3 runners on the base paths. A lot of contenders for the award, which is what you want it to be.
You bet.
But Aiden Imperial is our winner. So there you go, Stones McCoy. McCoy, we finally brought home a Beaver win.
So I hate to even do this, but 0-14 coming in.
Oh, don't just say it. Why don't you
We're
say
1-14 now as
Yes,
broadcasters
yes.
here at ARC Baseball.
Yeah, we're finally
I
in the books.
Stoked.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
fantastic. And
So-
I'll tell you that what they did to us, and it was mean. They went ahead, got up, went down 1-0 in the first, came back with 4, extended that to 8-1, and then went to the ninth inning with an 8-1 lead and said, "No, fellas, you're not going to coast it on this one. We're going to make it a little tough on you." And thankfully, David Centeno came in and got the save. He has been fantastic so far for the Beavers, and the American River grabs the 8-5 win.
Absolutely. I mean, good defense was played today.
Oh, fantastic.
And that, I think, is the key to holding on to that lead going there into the later innings. You get a padded lead like that, then you can allow for some things to happen, and that's exactly what happened. Lassen came back. They were making a game of this. They weren't going to go down easy, but you bring in the pitchers in the ninth inning, and you're really able to shut the door. And, again, Lucero, really good today.
Yeah, Lucero good. Centeno came in and was good. I think that also the Beavers pile up a dozen hits, and that's nice.
Super
as
good.
they go out there, giving a shout out to Julian Blackwell and Jonas Diaz, getting a couple hits apiece. Aiden Imperial with 3, and 2 for Darren Eels, and Eels a tremendous defensive play, as we talked about. You mentioned, Stones, the defense, and I think that's really key. You mentioned getting the runs to put the padding up there, but I'll tell you, there were about, if they didn't make the plays they did, that would have been a lot tighter game in that ninth inning.
We would have probably been going into this ninth inning either tied or Lassen up ahead.
Don't even say that.
Had we not had some tremendous catching today
Yes.
and keeping runners off the bases, 3 runners kept off the bases could have been 3 more runs that Lassen would have gone into the ninth, and they could have led this game going into the ninth.
And you say that you're not going to use math when you get older, and you used math right there and did it. So the Beavers get the win. We are very happy to announce that, our first win as a broadcast crew for the Beavers. We're back here to do another American River College baseball game. That'll be next Friday, the 17th at 1 p.m. Also, we will be back. When's our next Thursday?
Next Thursday.
Thursday, we've got a doubleheader reminder on American River College Athletics YouTube. A doubleheader, noon and 2 for softball. Now, noon will be video only, and then 2 will have the whole production. And then we're back at Hutchinson Gym for the last time this season as the Beavers take on San Joaquin Delta Community College. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Again, we just urge you, subscribe to American River College Athletics on YouTube, and you'll get notified by Stones McCoy. My personal friend will call you all personally on the phone and tell you when we are going live with the event, because we really enjoy it when you're there with us. Any final thoughts, Stones McCoy?
Nope, just looking forward to the next game.
Looking forward
we
to
got
the
our
next
win.
game. Final score once again, American River 8 and Lassen 5. Thank you for watching on American River College Athletics on YouTube. For Mark the Phantom Low, Stones McCoy, we say thank you, and we'll talk to you next time.